Yes.
I have a question. So can you explain your thought process when you see injustice?
Good question. When I see it, I just see it. I don't have to think about it, because when you are an observer, one mind with God, because that's what it is, you know that you can't call that good or bad. You can't say, oh, that's bad, that's evil. You have to be shown what it is.
But,
You inwardly know that, and then you deal with it.
right.
You don't hate it.
Well, like things that are happening in the country at this time.
Right.
Things that like destroy the nation.
Yes.
I mean, our country that, you have a lot of pride in, you have a lot of feeling for, and you see things going downhill.
Right. I love my country. I'm not an African American. I don't have an afro. I have a Amerifro. I see my country going to hell in a handbasket.
Right.
I mean, just like that. It's amazing at what is going on.
Right.
And I see why it's going on that way. I see that it's evil taking us down.
Right.
And that evil works through people as well as good. It's amazing I see this too. I have to tell you this. I can't believe I see it, but it's amazing I see it. But I also see that there's nothing personally I can do about it.
Okay.
I have to allow him to show me what to do about it, because it's spiritual.
Right.
It's spiritual. So, but if I hated the people who operate on the side of evil, they would conquer me too.
I see.
But because I see that they're evil and I see what they're doing and I understand what they're doing, he shows me what to do to deal with it.
Okay.
And even when I go out and give a talk,
Right.
he puts some truth in there, even in that talk, in order to wake up some people so they can see what's going on and fight this battle in a different way so that we can win it.
Okay.
But most people see this injustice, they'll resent it, and now they're caught up in it, and they're losing the battle because they're fighting with in the wrong manner.
Right.
They're fighting it and they're losing it because they don't see the spiritual aspect of what's going on.
Right.
And so I see it, and I'm just fighting the way he gave me to fight. Remember last week I told you I went down to the LA County Board of Supervisors?
Right.
I knew I was going to yell at them. I was going to yell, so I'm ready for it. He just gave it to me to do. Even when the devil told me, oh, you're going to look like a fool.
Right.
You're going to be embarrassed. I didn't care about that. This is the way to make a point.
Right.
But-
So how do you not, like when you went to Yale and spoke in front of people and said things that they didn't like, how do you not get caught up in the fear of like, oh, they're not going to like me, blah, blah, blah?
Because once you're born again of a new nature, you have perfect love, and perfect love has no fear.
Cast out all fear.
It doesn't exist.
Right.
It's not even there.
Oh, okay.
It's not even there. So the devil's talking to you,
Right.
but you're not of him anymore, so you're not afraid. And you're not worried about what your ego is going to look like.
Right.
Because you're there to make a point,
Right.
and so you're there for your point, and you do that. But there is no fear in perfect love.
Right.
That's the beauty of it. And when you have perfect love, you have the same mind as God, and he's living through you.
Right.
Just like the devil lived through you.
Right.
Yes, ma'am. But there is no fear. Very good question. That's why he said perfect love casts out fear. Somehow or another, you got to know that you are an egotistical, angry, judgmental, separated from God person to be your own God. You got to know that first in your heart. That's the beginning of the process. You got to know that you are not God. And then you got to be still so that he can help you or cause you to overcome your father, the devil. The guy that makes you make all the decisions, because you're God. We don't make any decisions about anything. It's the God that we serve who works through us to make the decisions for us. And so somehow or another, you got to get to know yourself. Somebody mentioned knowing yourself. So you can see, wow, I am not in control of my own life. Even the decisions I make, even the ones I think are positive, are not my decision. If you can get to know yourself and then calm down because you see now of yourself you can do nothing, then God will come in and take that identity away from you and give you his identity. That's the process. The problem is ego people don't want to admit that they don't know that what they're doing are wrong. that life is not working. They believe that they can make it happen. And that's why it's hard for them to understand this simple language of just living the truth, because the ego won't let you admit that you don't know. And that's what the problem, that's the process. You got to calm down and stop, as Stephanie gave that example, of yourself you could do nothing, so stop trying. And you will be given what to do, and you will have the energy to do, and it will all work out fine. But the ego is not going to let you give up. It's like you mess up your children, and now you try to force your children to be good. Or you mess up your relationship, now you try to force the relationship to be right. It never works like that. You are not God. And decision-making people think that they're God. But you'll see what to do. You'll see what to wear, what not to wear, who to hang out with, who not to hang out with. You will see if you can overcome this other identity. That's why you got to overcome your anger in the nature of your father. You need to get a copy of my Be Still and Know prayer CD. I've been doing it for 21 years. And it will, if you really want to know the truth, it will cause you to calm down so you can see who's really guiding you right now. We have never been in control. We are not in control. Either we're guided by the evil one or we're guided by good. That's just a fact. It's reality. But most people just can't see it. So get a copy of my Be Still and Know CD so God can cause you to come down and he'll find that moment to change your life, to cause you to enter into the kingdom from within. But you got to overcome anger. You cannot have any anger at all and live the way that I'm telling you, because it's a different God that you're serving. Yes, Pat?
Just quickly, regarding that same story about going down to the Board of Supervisors, it ties into what this lady's saying, because you didn't see an injustice and get mad about it or something like
Right.
that. You saw an injustice. Actually, there's a little moment at the end of the meeting where after the vote had taken place and Mark Ridley Thomas, the
Right.
bad guy was down there, and something happened where he made a motion to you to come down to talk to him, but it was something that you caught immediately and then went down there. So it's like you had to be free of the junk in your head to see what
Yes.
was going on. And you capitalize on a moment there to go right down there on that guy, but it happened so quickly that had you been thinking about what am I going to say, or
I would
do,
not have done it.
you never would have been able to carry it out.
And I wouldn't have made it down front,
Yeah.
because you're so busy thinking about what to do, how to do it, what's going to happen to me. Mark Ridley Thomas deceived the people and pretended that he may vote not to boycott Arizona. That was his first press release, right? Where all the time, all along, he knew he would vote for it. It was just a game, because even before the vote went down, he gave a press release to the media saying he was going to vote for it. So he already knew. And I'm looking at this guy acting all pompous, like trying to talk like he's tough. Well, I don't even have to explain myself. I already know it. And then he voted in favor of the boycott. I'm like, this lying hypocrite. So I said, you are a liar, you're evil, you're whatever, And then I could see my pathway. I'm heading down there, and the cops ran down and got me, and they were pushing me back, and then he begging for me to come, because he thinks he's tough, right? And so I'm like, no, hey, hold on, cops. He's telling me to come back. They're like, no, he's not. I'm like, look. So I'm seeing everything that's going on because I'm not feeling anything about what's going on. And so I went back down there and got right in his face. And the guy like, well, you better calm down or something, you don't know what's going to happen to you. I'm like, what are you saying? Trying. Like he give me a little threat, But when you're calm like that, you're going to always see what to do. And I want to promise you this, but I'm not God. I can't promise you. But take it from me. I'm telling you things that are happening in my life, and I'm not making this stuff up. Everything we need to know is already there. But it's a quiet, voiceless voice that changes your life and give you love and cause you to love others and everything that you do. But as long as you're listening to the voice of the devil that sounds like your voice, you will never be a happy person. You're going to always mess up. You will never have peace because you're listening to the wrong God. And he make you feel like you're God. The other God let you know you ain't God. God let me know I am not God. And I'm okay with that because his love is greater than the love I had when I thought I was God. So in order to do this, you got to overcome your anger, folks, because anger is of the ego, which is of your father, the devil. And so you recognize it, you let go. Get a copy of my Be Still and Know CD, and it's a prayer. You can have it free. Just pay for the shipping and handling so we can make some more tape. And make sure you stick with it. But you got to know yourself first so that you can recognize the different voices, all right? We do counseling. We need your support, by the way, financial support. Thank you for tuning in. And thank you guys and ladies.